Don't believe me, just watch.
We're back on the Morning Brew with Friends with the guy who brought us these amazing guitars. This is Philip Oliveira from the Freedom in Music Project.
Good morning.
And this one is signed by Les Paul.
Correct.
And this one is B.B. King.
Correct.
So you were just telling me the story of how these guitars came to the Freedom in Music Project.
Yeah, this is a way that we raise funds to purchase acoustic guitars for our program, which we bring out to youth detention centers and recovery academies. And a gentleman from Manhattan found out about our program through a mutual guitar player friend and sent us 25 signed guitars by various people.
Amazing.
And this guitar here, we actually purchased out with a hard case, and we had the pick signed by Les Paul, so we put the pick on it. It's a really nice guitar. You can take that pick guard off and
you can save that, play the guitar, and not scratch it up.
Exactly.
That's cool. That's very cool. So tell us a little bit about the program. It sounds really intense because you help kids who have been they're long-term incarcerated youth.
Correct.
And you bring musical instruments and musical instruction to them while they are incarcerated.
Correct. What we do, we've been out here, my wife and I, for 6 years, and we started going out with a message of recovery with a band, a rock and blues band with a powerful message of recovery. Both my wife and I are in recovery. She's got 25 years of sobriety, and I'll be celebrating 15.
Well done.
On July 17th this year. But once we got into the youth detention centers, we realized we had to do something other than just go out and play and talk about recovery. We had to do something.
Sometimes it's not about your own
music.
story, right?
Exactly. So we started a acoustic guitar program. It's a fairly easy instrument to pick up and learn. You can express yourself that way. So we bring either 6 acoustic guitars. Some programs we brought 12, with everything that goes along with them to maintain them: extra strings, tuners, batteries, gig bags, humidifiers, straps, picks. Plus, I put together a 6-month curriculum that gives the history of a steel string guitar, which they use in their schooling and their for tests and quizzes or whatever. And the kids are playing like in the second week.
That's very cool. Yeah. So how do you even gain access to this? How do you bring this up? Like, you don't just like meet a warden like at a cocktail party and say, hey, I want to bring some instruments, right?
What I have done, you can't do it by emailing. You can't do it with phone calls. I show up and I go in. My wife and I have shown up, just driven right into these facilities.
Are they welcoming?
Oh, yes. They're very, very welcoming. Not one has turned us down. And we have 9 programs up and running with 70 guitars, 7 in New Mexico, and this 2 in Amarillo, Texas.
And maybe you can tell us where this one is.
That's at AMI Kids up in Cuba. We're giving a concert, and we surprised the kids with 6 guitars for a program that day. They didn't know that they were going to be receiving the guitars for a music program.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And
their eyes lit up like,
Right, and when you say Cuba, that's Cuba, New Mexico.
Correct.
And just to make sure, some people forget.
Cuba, New Mexico.
And so how do you interact with the kids? I mean, is it a thing where they have to be on good behavior? Are there certain rules?
Yeah, they have to earn the right.
Because they are incarcerated.
Right, they have to earn the right to stay in the program. We haven't had one problem in over 5 years of them using them as a weapon, because a guitar can basically kill you. The neck is rock hard. And that hasn't happened. We haven't had any guitars,
They really respect the instruments.
Exactly. They learn how to care for them, clean them. Yeah, the kids love it. They love music, and it's just a different way for them to express themselves.
I'm sure.
Other than sticking needles into their arms, and a lot of these kids, 95% of them are incarcerated due to committing crimes that support drug habits. 90% don't have fathers. 84% have learning disabilities untreated. 85% have mental health issues undiagnosed, untreated. 40% have attempted suicide at least once because they have no hope. And I throw out all these statistics to people, and they say, "Oh, that's not real. That's not true."
They sound just mind-blowingly high.
You go to the state of New Mexico YDDC site, and they've done statistical data studies every couple of years. That's where I culled all those statistics.
And what does music do to help these kids? I know it probably helps them express themselves.
They have a different way of expressing themselves. I received about 8 letters from various facilities getting updates about what's going on, and it's actually changed kids' lives, you know. And in Amarillo, Texas, we expanded to the High Plains Youth Detention Center and their transitional living program. One kid loved it so much, they wrote it into his treatment plan that he was getting a guitar and was going to have guitar lessons once he was discharged. And that's what we're all about. You know, we don't teach the programs anymore. We used to. We're providing all the equipment for them to, you know, have the program. And usually on staff, there are people that can play guitar, or they have to go out into the community to bring mentors in to work with these kids, because that's what these kids need. They desperately need mentors to mentor them, especially once they're discharged.
So how do you find the mentors, and how do you continue that education once a student is out?
That's up to the facility. You know, we really haven't figured out how we can keep the project going on the outside.
Yeah. So what do you guys need now? Is it funding that you need? Is it volunteers you need? Is it mentors you need?
We need mentors, obviously, for the kids in any capacity, not just teaching guitar. They need people to show up and be there and care about them. You know, that's basically it. Because the first couple of weeks when I was teaching, they would say, you know, what the blank are you doing here? What are you trying to get from me? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But after a couple of weeks, that all changed, you know, because you're showing up twice a week, week after week. They got into the instrument, they played, they gave performances, you know, at the facility after about 4 or 6 months. So things can happen and things can change. It's all about bringing these kids hope.
Right.
Because that's what they need more than anything.
Very cool. And so, and I know that these are going to be auctioned off, is that right?
We have a big event coming up in Mariposa Gallery, May 6th. That's the opening. We're going to have 15 signed guitars at
all
Mariposa
of them by rock
Gallery.
Stars.
Yeah, well, all different people. Johnny Winter, Robert Cray, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Buddy Guy. Yeah, we were very, very blessed. I've shipped guitars to Chicago, and Buddy Guy signed them, shipped them back. I've shipped them to Hollywood. Kenny Wayne Shepherd signed them, shipped them back. All the musicians have been great to us in helping us.
That's very cool. So May 6th, Mariposa Gallery.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yes.
Maybe you can pick up one of these wonderful guitars yourself. We'll be back in a couple of seconds of Morning Brew with Friends with our friend Jessica Osborne. She'll be giving us I think it's a Shakespearean presentation this morning.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.